Okay, so that is another one. So I've given you a rundown on how to sort of approach your biological anthropology and your different modules, I believe, right? So since I've given you all of those sort of elements, right? So fossils in archaeology and your biological anthropology and social cultural anthropology, which we can talk about a little further, but take a look at this. You can also add value. Okay, so now that we're done with talking about the syllabus specifically, I will also say that, interconnect the different parts of the syllabus. For instance, if you have something in social cultural and then you feel like there is a connect in biological anthropology, try to sort of bring those elements. Both of these things are from same idea. What is the same idea? In case you're talking about, consanguineous marriage, if it is in bio, how would you talk about this? Talk about the social cultural factors. Okay, social cultural factors. Okay, that promote. Okay, consanguineous marriages. What could it be? Okay, you would probably say, maintaining family values, maintaining. Let's erase that. Okay, maintaining. Family structure. Okay, cultural values, economic aspects. And so on, so basically talk about these sort of elements as well. When you talk about incest taboo, again, the same thing, you keep your social angle here, social angle, okay, and at the same time, you bring in the biological angle as well. Okay, so when you interconnect both of these things, it basically shows that you don't have just like, one particular part of the syllabus in your mind, and then you have like some short notes for it and nothing else, right? So the point is you're able to interconnect different aspects within anthropology into different areas and different sort of questions. Okay, so these are important sort of elements that you will probably want to think of. Right, and some other sort of writing tips as well. So see, for instance, a lot of you so let's take a look at this. Okay, so this was there in one of my test series papers. So take a look at this. So the question is saying, okay, the point that I'm trying to drive here is that you have to structure your answer, okay, according to the question that is asked. So you have to tailor it. You have to tailor it. So if there is a question like this, the question cannot be answered as so how would you sort of define it? So you'd probably say, what is fertility? Okay, what is fecundity? Okay, and then what would you probably do? Then you should say biological determinants of so and so. Okay, then blah, 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 blah. Then you will have the next one is essentially what? So biological, I have then second is going to be social cultural or social, sorry, exactly like how they've asked, social determinants of so and so. Right? So and so. Now again, so this is, okay, this is right, but not socio-ecological, okay, determinants. The reason is it might be there in the syllabus. Okay, it might be there in your notes. Okay, but we don't go by notes, we go by exactly what is asked. So even if you write the same points, but if you just term them to be in the same sort of bracket, I think that'll add a lot more sort of value. Okay, so because it looks like you've answered exactly what they've asked. And similarly, for instance, take a look at this particular question. So the intro, okay, so intro and all of that. So this should have two different things. Okay, so discuss the chromosomal aberrations and manifestations of Klinefelter and Turner syndrome, right? So Klinefelter and Turner syndrome. So I'm just not going to go with introduction. I'm just going to go with this. Okay, so it should be chromosomal aberration, okay, of Klinefelter. Okay, and then the next is going to be symptoms. Yes, no, it should be, how do they mention it? Manifestations. Of Klinefelter. Now, the reason why I'm telling you this is that this, okay, when you start focusing on this, you take a look at this particular question, you might think that, hey, it's just a question about Klinefelter and Turner. I'm going to write everything that I have studied about this, but it is not so. So you have to focus on exactly what is being asked. Okay, so so that will also give you, you would probably also understand what are the areas that you have to sort of focus on. Similarly, if the question is on FRA, okay, the question is not only on FRA. What is it? Are they asking for implementation issues? Okay, are they asking for significance? Are they asking for positives? Exactly, what are they asking? And try to make those subheadings in that manner and focus most of your dimensions or most of your answers in these sort of sequences or in these sort of dimensions that is being asked in that particular question. So always focus on the question. So always focus on the question. Okay, so the question about Forest Rights Act is not always about Forest Rights Act. It's about specific areas of Forest Rights Act. Similarly, if the question is about Klinefelter, Turner, or any such question, you always try to take the subheadings or create the dimensions from your main heading itself.